Hello, I'm going to be doing a tarot reading on Zelensky. It's going to be a deep dive, so I hope that you will sit back and enjoy this. And I'm just going to read and see what comes up, what Spirit wants us to know with regard to Zelensky, and as well as just my basic questions. This is meant for us to have a little bit more time to look at him. It's kind of rainy and stormy a little bit here. There's some gale warnings. I'm coming to you out from the San Francisco coast. And at the time of this recording, it's late Saturday night. Not good night to do something like this. So we're going to be reading, like I said, on Zelensky. And I just want to deep dive and check in on him and what Spirit thinks that we ought to know. In case you're curious, I'm going to be using the Sugar Skull Tarot deck. And you can see it's by David Ross. And illustrated by Carolina Martinez. And I really love this deck. I bought it some time ago and opened it up and checked it out more. I'll be doing a unboxing on it because I think a lot of people would like it. Okay, so we'll begin our deep dive on Zelensky. And again, I'm asking Spirit to give us what we need to know with regard to President Zelensky of Ukraine that maybe we didn't know, that we need to know about, how we could help. Just, I think it's a great idea to open the door and allow Spirit to maybe point out to us things that maybe we weren't aware of. So let's see. Just really want to make sure I shuffle the deck because, like I said, I was using it beforehand, and I want to make sure that it's really well shuffled. All right, so this is, like I said, what Spirit, Holy Spirit, my spiritual mentors and ancestors want us to understand or know about Zelensky. I am going to lay this out just in kind of a Celtic cross manner, but my reading won't be strictly based on that spread. I may go off a little bit from that. That's just typical me. I have to do things my own way, but we'll see. We'll see. So the first card is going to be what is covering Zelensky that we need to be aware of. Okay. That is the Four of Pentacles. That is basic security. And we're not talking great wealth. We're just talking about enough to be secure. Four of Pentacles. And I believe that this covering him is perhaps what we need to understand about his need for security. Okay, leave that there. Think about that. And he is, what is important to him, of course, is the basic security of his nation, the basic well-being, just surviving, and they'll survive, no question. like I said before about this war, it's bad. A lot of people, unfortunately, will pass. And it's horrible because it's was completely unnecessary. There was no reason for it other than one man's ego and fear, delusional fear at that, which he has kind of made a self-fulfilling prophecy. But, you know, we don't want Vlad sucking all the air out of the room as usual. This is for Zelensky. This is what's crossing. This is judgment. And this is about being accountable for your actions and getting the broader picture. And this is, he is facing his life's calling right now. And it is his job to make everybody come awake. He's also kind of like the angel, making people aware of what this, the death and destruction and the needs of the people. And to try to get more people to share that message too. And that's a challenge for him, okay? Because he got a stinking war going on. And he feels very much personally accountable, okay? That's very different compared to another leader that has caused this war. We're getting the Ace of Wands, and that's the basis of the reading. This is taking action. And this is the actions, you know, that Zelensky has had to take since this has not just landed on his doorstep, but his nation has been invaded. He is crowned by the King of Wands. This feels like, to me, definitely militia oriented, military leadership action. You know, it's a wand, so it's crowning him. Definitely also a lot of passion to fight that are lit within people. A lot of anger, and he's angry. It's it's a righteous anger. There's a good reason for it. And this is him, I believe, definitely from the recent past, you know, that he is asking for help so that he can get through this invasion to get rid of Putin from his country and the support that they need, the various kinds of support from various nations. And he's gotten it. So he is helping also, when we look at it this way, to talk about how important the security, the basics, this is basic security, the livelihood of this nation as being Ukraine. You know, this is not a drill. So it's coming through, and it's showing that so far in the reading. Now we're going to look toward the near future, all right, for him. And we get the Hanged Man. So I feel like there's some sort, there could be a ceasefire. I'm really hoping so. There is a different perspective that is going to be had because he's able to get through to very influential types of people, as well as your common day everyday person. And together it's very, 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 very powerful because he's waking people up. He is a light messenger. He truly is. He is helping to awaken people to come together and stand up for what is right against tyranny and fascism and brutality. And there's going to be a lot of positivity. I just know it in the future, but it's going to be after, and sadly, of course, this bloody war is over. So it looks like we might have a ceasefire here. I'm hoping that's what the hangman is in the near future. You know, he is definitely prepared to risk his own life and be there. What is coming? And this is what he's aware of. This is what's in his mind, is just that it's going to be sudden destruction where they have to rebuild. He's aware of that. And he's aware of sudden attacks that are devastating, that are coming. He has that awareness. So that's why he wants the help. Please close those skies. I wish they could. I wish they could. I will hope that they can figure out a way to help so that Ukraine can own their skies. Maybe just, if not close them, just beef up their air support to the point that Russia just won't even try at some point. I'll look at that too. But right now we're looking at Zelensky. Okay, so there might be a pause coming. But I also feel like this is more about the rest of the world. And I feel like the efforts that he's been doing to get the world's attention to their needs, I feel like it kind of sinks in. It wakes people up. People really take it in and see it from he's able to see it somehow. His passion, he's able to awaken people to, again, that he is somebody that is what I would call like a light messenger. He's awakening people during this time of darkness. And this is what is in the environment, just the beginning of trying to get people aware, other people around the world. And it's almost, I feel like he's her. Hello. Well, we're all playing off, doing whatever, not having to deal with a war on our doorstep. He's trying to get our attention, say, hey, can I get your help? Truthfully. And this is also about their children. And if you've been paying attention, it seems, of course, that Vladimir, and I saw this in the readings earlier about the children, this would really stick in people's, hearts, would be the deliberate targeting where children and stuff is concerned. And I saw that, and they are doing the whole thing where human shields, using women and children as human shields, as well as just any civilian, because he wants to be ruthless and brutal. But it doesn't matter, it's going to explode in his face. He's, and I'm talking about Vladimir. So I see Zelensky trying to wake people up. And his concern is the children and the women, especially of, I feel, Ukraine. That's heartbreaking. It's dead children. It's making him as a father and a husband sick, as a human being, and as a president that really cares. That's the interesting thing. And a deep dive I did, I don't know if it was a deep dive, but it was a reading I did where I looked at Vlad and where I looked at Zelensky. And the difference that I saw was that Zelensky's a human being. Vladimir is so disassociative and delusional. That's sad too, because it's made him become the brute that he's capable of being and lashing out in the world. So I can afford him that but not because I'm in any way happy about what he's doing or who he is at all. I got a lot of feelings about it. This is what Zelensky is in the placement of hopes and fears, and this is being too restrained. I think he's concerned that he's not going to be able to use his power in a way that is effective to protect him, and not just himself, obviously, but his country, his nation. He wants to be able to have access to what he needs to properly, not halfway it or almost fully protect the nation. That's not good enough. And he fears that. He fears any kind of restriction being placed upon them from him being able to act as well. I think that's the concern also of, no doubt, it is my card of abduction. So I'm sure he's definitely concerned about being abducted and assassinated. The final end result shows he's going to be able to show the lie that this war is, with the Seven of Swords. They're looting. Look at this. Like, here's their bank. This is just them coming in and taking. And the whole motive is off. It is not. He's able to show it has been based on lies. And I think he's going to be able to show the world more also, that just show Vladimir Putin on the world stage to be a liar in a way that he's never been before. Here's the Chariot and the Two of Cups, because Zelensky is going to be around for this war. And he will also be the victor of this war. And if you note with the Two of Cups, sorry, that's a little bit out of the screen. He has the support. Here, you know, it shows where he's done the footwork and the diplomatic work to get the help he needs, and he will succeed because of it. Vladimir will not. Zelensky will use good sense and listen to both his intuition and his advisors on how to negotiate this war and how to negotiate the challenges it presents. And he will manage to overcome despite these things and be respected. People will enjoy working with him. He will have success and victory. That's what he's meant to do in this life. He wasn't just meant to be an actor. And I saw some clips, and you know what? I wouldn't mind looking at the rest of it. He looked like he might be actually pretty talented. So I think, though, often people, well, no, I shouldn't say often. Many times people have more than one talent. So You know, people are multifaceted, most people, unless they're Vladimir Putin, then they're pretty resort, they resort to pretty bad things because they just never bother to really put the work in. Well, Zelensky's put the work in, and he's got a sense of humility and a sense also, though, of strength. And he's maintaining his empathy. In fact, his humanity is growing while Putin's is shrinking. The sad thing is it's coming at the cost unnecessarily of so many innocent lives for one man's delusional and midlife crisis, I don't know, need of having, he's past midlife, to try to make the USSR. It's not going to happen, Vlad. Hang it up. Zelensky will bring his nation to a better place. And he will get rid of the Russians that have invaded. They have to leave. There they are leaving. Get out. People will come back in to rebuild. It's going to require a lot of effort with the 10 of Wands, but there's a lot of passion to do it. And the devil, because of just the destruction and sheer oppressive atmosphere of just destruction and chaos. So it's going to need a lot of help. And I see that he will be taking moments to really, as he already does, but especially in future, I think, to designate memorial dates for those who have been lost in this war or die as a result. Yes, 10 of Swords. So it's bringing the close to this very painful, bloody conflict. The High Priestess and the 6 of Wands. And this says that Zelensky uses intuition a great deal. He listens to his gut. And that is how he succeeds. If it doesn't sit right in here, he knows that beyond what we can see in the physical world, it's one of those things that I just feel that he is prompted by intuition, and it is his best guide, and it will guide him to success. That's very interesting, but perhaps not all too surprising. I see celebration. That will be very nice to see, to return. And I do see the moon. I think despite the darkness, despite what people have been through and facing their fears, they celebrate. Especially because of that. There's a release at the end of the day. Yes, Emperor, that would be the leader. This is Zelensky. And the Ace of Cups, there is so much respect and emotive response for this man. He's going to be, and not just going to be, is truly a historic leader, not just of Ukraine, but world leader, because of what's going to happen in Ukraine's future. The Ten of Cups. This is his love for, truly, for his people. Not just his own family, but he's truly able to see Ukraine as his family. Just like immediate family, right? Yeah. And Queen of Pentacles. To me, this is, it could be his wife, but to me, it's also more likely, I feel like it is Ukraine, the land, the country. And he's very happy. And I feel like he's going to reunify it. And this will be very popular with people. Now, it's going to be a hot mess, but a lot of people will come over for employment. But Ukraine folks will have, dibs on employment, of course. But there will be a lot of activity and they will need help. And I see without a doubt, despite the Tower card, it just means that they are going to rebuild back better, stronger than ever. The Ace of Swords. Zelensky, true, honest leader. Am I saying that he's perfect, never, whatever? No. But at the end of the day, push comes to shove, Ace, there's clarity. And he has a plan. And he likes a plan, likes to follow. And he has a plan also for the economy of Ukraine to get things back up and to make assessments, etc. He will have good people to help him to restore his nation, their nation. Wheel of Fortune. He is called to do this work and bring this change. And he was called, I feel like, because there has always been this threat hanging over the head of Ukraine and the other parts of Europe, the other former Soviet satellites. And I think this will shut the mouth of that. No more of that talk. Queen of Cups and the King of Swords. Now, this is likely Vladimir Putin. It could be. The Queen of Cups, I don't know. It could be NATO, could be somebody that's a female leader that could be talking to Putin. Yeah, now that's definitely Putin. And there's a female that's in his ear. About going further with this invasion. or about how, what is the next step, how they should proceed. We also have a Queen of Swords, another feminine presence or type of energy that's logical. These could be people that advise him, and it's definitely Putin being advised. And I think it has to do with areas actually where women are. You notice that there are people that are hostage here. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. And this is Putin's card because he is a Libra. He is an air sign. Normally, this would be kind of a lawman, but you could also see where they're an outlaw. And Putin is most definitely an outlaw. Sorry about that. So this tells me this is using women and human shields and expanding that in the future with airstrikes. They are deliberately doing it. They are deliberately doing it. There's no question. So we're going to get more of that. This is what I, was seeing earlier, but a lot with children's cards. So then, he's going to go for that, continue to go for that, but also here, hitting where they know women are, possibly by air. Children as well, Page of Swords. This is what Zelensky is going to have to. No, I don't think he's going to have to. I think it will speak for itself. But what a shocking price that, will we ever change it to where we stop somebody before they are given to do this? And then we say, oh, well, okay, now you've spilled enough blood. We can intervene or we can do something. Some laws have to be changed. This is just stupid. This is like a generation of people, a lot of children and mothers. There's a nostalgia, but it's sad. They have to protect them because they are being targeted. Absolutely ruthless. I feel like this is Putin once he can hit a women and children's area. I do. Oh, I do. He's sick. And deluded. I actually think that he does cheer. There's a King of Cups energy here that is withholding something. I don't know whether this is Joe Biden, because he's usually my King of Cups, but I have a feeling it could be somebody else. Somebody that, in connection to Zelensky. It feels like he's, well, this could be Biden, sending protection. and in the way of a very personal type of protection for the president, to secure perhaps Zelensky's own beef up his own security appropriately. That's what I'm guessing. It's like private detail or something. Then we have the Four of Wands. Again, to do with the greater public and children. I feel like this just came to me was the dispersion of Ukraine, people around Poland and other places being welcomed, especially the children. Getting the children out would be good. It would be very wise if they could get more children out of the country, but make sure that they can get them right back in afterward. None of this stuff like how Trump handled things. I just feel like this is different countries welcoming in children, refugees, especially. Yeah, it's a collaboration, particularly might be very strongly three nations might be spearheading, absorbing many of the refugees because they are probably, I'm guessing, three nations that are nearby, which would make sense. Yeah, Poland, and you have Lithuania and other places they can get to. And here we have the Hierophant. This is guiding, teaching, and the Hermit. Setting up rule. I feel like it's restoring, eventually looking at restoring certainly the law of the land, post-war. Let's see, the Hermit. It's also Zelensky. He's really a teacher. This is him also, part of his role, and teaching the unorthodox way to the common person of resistance and wisdom. I think it shows him living to be actually an older, wiser man that will show and represent by example wise choices for the most part. But even in one's mistakes, we teach people. So I just feel like he's fulfilling this role as their kind of their hierophant. And he's got it shows, I really feel like he's got a decent moral sense of morality. I've never, I don't, it's actually cleaner than a lot of politicians of America that I've read upon in either party. And I don't want to throw a halo around anyone because that's an impossible, that's just not what I'm about. And I don't think that's a good idea. Don't ever put anybody up on a pedestal. You can appreciate and respect and greatly admire, but remember, they're a human being. Yeah. He's going to bring about and be remembered for bringing about a great deal of change and unity, and securing their nation. And I do believe that he will live to be an older man. You know, maybe he'll have an old beard, you know, by then. But I do. That's an older age. So, and with the lovers and death, I feel like there's acceptance, there's peace, there's harmony, and acceptance of his, you know, that when he does pass, and I feel like there's just a great deal of respect and love, truth. That could even be his wife, I don't know. But there is balance. He will go down, and it could be also that there will be a female president that would follow him. When there could be a female that's a president that's when he passes as well. I'm not sure, or something along these lines. Something's balanced out. You notice that he brings, I just feel like it's saying he's going to bring balance to Ukraine that they have needed and restore her. And people are going to adore her and want to invest in her and come and live there, and they will. And this man is still, it's a good thing he's pretty young now, because he's going to be devoting his life, no matter if he's president or a former president, he will be. Look at, even the shovel is blue and yellow. I didn't even notice that this deck. That's so funny. I just feel that he will continue to work for the enrichment and betterment of his people, and into old age or older age. And he will be a legend, truly legendary, but a real one, you know, a true hero of the flesh, and one whose story needs no kind of exaggeration, because the truth is enough. So I see him definitely that he was born to bring change to the world, especially through the means of Ukraine, to stop what's been going on for many generations here. And I see him doing it. And I hope you appreciated that. It's what it wanted to speak really about him as a leader. And that's fine. That's the part that I feel like that Spirit wants us to understand, that he will indeed go down as a very brave, honorable, not perfect leader that people around the world are grateful to, no matter what, and will respect and appreciate. And that's a lot. That's something that I think we should all want, you know, but he's going to bring honor to Ukraine, more honor, and the world, by giving us the cat, you know, unfortunately kind of hosting the catalyst and taking in so much damage and death to get rid of someone who has been a problem since the 90s, that keeps threatening the world. and threatening world stability. Nobody else going around doing that so much. China does a little bit, but not like Vlad. Nobody does it like Vlad because Vlad is so insecure. And if you're full of fear, this is why I caution my daughter, work out your fears. Don't be so fearful, because when you cling to your fear, it's a self-manifesting, prophecy. You want to work out your fear and know that things will be okay, and let go of what you can't control and do what you can. You don't want it to become your taskmaster. And that's what too many people have done. So that's what I have on Zelensky for right now from Spirit. Thumbs up if you appreciated this. And I will be seeing you in the next video. Thanks so much. Please share, and don't forget to make sure you're subscribed. All right, thanks. Bye-bye.